A few days ago, I wrote an essay on the question of whether democracy was doomed because people are simply too foolish to be able to handle the responsibility of self-government. On the other side, humanists from Confucius to Thomas Jefferson believed that everyone was capable of developing the wisdom to handle the job. To get from foolish to wise required a process called cultivation. If it worked, we would create a country of enlightened citizens. For democracy to work, it wasn't enough to give people the vote. They had to be given the tools and education to fulfill their potentials and become their best selves. The foolishness of the masses that we're witnessing today in the election of Trump is not a measure of an inherent limitation of people, that they're simply too stupid, but rather the failure of America's commitment and ability to providing everyone with the necessary resources to become enlightened citizens. Now, I'm pessimistic that this will happen anytime soon because there are too many incentives for the oligarchs, which mean the few, the plutocrats, the rich, the kleptocrats, the crooks, and the cockycrats, the inept. There are too many incentives for these people who are currently in power to keep everybody incapable of realizing that they're being conned. Keep the masses stupid enough, and you can manipulate them into defending their own self-destructiveness, which could be one good definition of foolishness. Now, we're all facing the consequences of this failure of our culture, and this is causing, and it's going to cause a lot of pain. You might already be feeling it. I don't have to go into the details of the destruction that's already taking place. And if you've been paying attention, and you have a somewhat cultivated mind and heart, you know what's happening. This leaves the rest of us who are feeling the pain asking the question, what do we do? Now, for decades, as I've worked on my own growth from foolishness to wisdom, and I still have far to go, believe me, I've discovered that the wise of all time have pretty much all suggested the same thing. If those in power are not going to give you what you need to become cultivated, you need to cultivate yourself. You need to self-cultivate. Now, you might ask, why bother self-cultivating? What's the point when each one of us has so little power? Well, I'm going to assert that the stuckness that I see in so many people in my therapy and coaching practice and in the world around me, that it's a symptom of a deep sickness in our culture. Instead of cultivating our inborn capacities for courage, strength, faith, action, confidence, skill, wisdom, and love, our culture promotes shame, fear, addictions, negativity, ignorance, and self-harm. And so all those stuck people, who I believe have good hearts, are either caught in delusion or can't activate to be able to do anything to make our world a better place and save it from self-destruction. So I believe self-cultivation is one of the most important things that we can all do, because that's what'll free our ability to actually do something to save this world that's in so much danger right now. And if we all do that, we can save the world. As John Lennon said, you tell me it's the institution, well, you better free your mind instead. Now, once self-cultivated, where our natural ability for growth is freed and we become capable and wise, there are an endless number of jobs that we need to do. So in order to find the answer to what I can do, I've had to ask the question, what can I do? And I invite you to ask these questions of yourself. I ask myself, what am I good at? What do I have expertise in? What is my, for lack of a better word, my dharma? In other words, what am I on this earth to do? Well, even though you have to do this yourself, it doesn't mean you have to do it alone. Since society isn't going to give us the tools to cultivate, then the thing that I can do, where my expertise lies, is to help people to self-cultivate. And I'm here to help you with that in every way that I can. This is what I will spend the rest of my life doing. And in terms of doing it alone, once you get on that path, you can join and provide support for others who are struggling to liberate their human spirit. In other words, if we want to save the world, we each one of us need to get our shit together, and we need to do it together. Please let me help you with that. So if you have expertise, skill, use it for good. If you've been stuck and haven't realized your potentials, what would you like to be good at? What are you willing to do to not only fix yourself, but to fix the broken world? If you're ready, let me know. I'm here to help.